Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Monday morning the 6th of October and it's a very drab day here in Northern England. I hope it's nicer where you are, but it's very grey and very drab here. Right, today we are going to Hendersonville in Tennessee to the case of missing teen Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Sebastian was 15 years old when he was reported missing by his mother at 6:30 a.m. on the 26th of February 2024. So it's over 18 months now that Sebastian has been gone. If you've been following the case, you'll know the basics. Of course, Sebastian had a day out with his mother on Sunday the 25th of February. It was an unseasonably warm day. They went to the bowling alley and then for a little dinner in the evening at the Texas Roadhouse in Hendersonville. They got home early evening. Sebastian went to bed about 9 p.m. because it was school the next morning. About an hour later, his mother Katie said that she heard a thud coming from his room. She asked him if he was okay and he said, "Yes, Mum," and she told him to get to sleep, and that was that. She went to bed about midnight. When she got up at 6 a.m. the following morning, the 26th, he was gone, and there's been no sight, no sound of Sebastian ever since. Possibly, however, there was a figure at 12:17 a.m. at the top of Kelling Lane around this area. Could that be Sebastian? About 8 hours later, a scent-specific bloodhound found an area of interest and started tracking in that exact spot. Sebastian left behind his phone, he didn't take any money with him, and according to his mother and his stepdad, he didn't have shoes on because all of his shoes were accounted for. I've always said I think Sebastian had a pair of shoes that his mother didn't know about. He was a teen, he was 15 at the time, and he did go wandering around in his neighbourhood. There's nothing wrong with that, but his parents didn't know. Sebastian was autistic. He also had a chromosomal disorder that he'd had since birth, 6q27 chromosomal deletion syndrome, which gave him some challenges in life, particularly around social engagement. But otherwise, he was an intelligent, bright young man. So going for a walk around his neighbourhood, no one would think anything of it, except his parents didn't know. So I think he was going out regularly, and I think he had a pair of shoes that he wore when he went out, so that his mother wouldn't know that, he got them muddy. But that's just me, that's just my thought. Okay, what we're going to do in this video, we're going to look at the latest in the Sebastian Rogers case, because apparently there are going to be new ground searches. Oh yeah. But it's not what you think. Let's go. Got a couple of things to say before we get into Sebastian's case. If you wouldn't mind, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and with your help I can do it. It's no skin off your nose, just press the subscribe button and you are done, completely free, not like memberships. And once I reach the 100k, YouTube will send me a silver play button plaque for my wall. Also, I want to just mention a few other missing people that I've talked about recently. Gus Lamont, little 4-year-old from South Australia, is still missing. I did a video about him the other day over on my other channel, Michelle Walks, and they've called off the search for little Gus, saying that they don't believe he's still alive, which is really sad. Similarly, in Alberta, Canada, the search was called off for little 5-year-old Darius McDougall, who went missing during a camping trip. There's local people doing their own searches, which is great. I'm going to do an update about Darius soon. And then here in the UK, Jack O'Sullivan is also still missing. He's been missing since the 2nd of March 2024. and a kind donor has offered a £100,000 reward. All right, without further ado, let's get going here. New ground searches, but it's not as it seems, because the people who are allegedly doing these ground searches are at night creative lack of intelligence. They are a supposed private intelligence agency, and they've allegedly been working on the case since September of 2024 on behalf of Sebastian's bio-dad, Seth Rogers. And if you've been following my coverage of Sebastian's case, you'll know that I don't think too highly of these guys, because in my opinion, they don't appear to be doing anything other than griping at Katie and Chris. But this came out on the 4th of October for immediate release, so let's read it. At Night and One World announced multi-state boots-on-the-ground operation in Sebastian Rogers' case. Fort Worth, Texas. What, they're reporting from Fort Worth, Texas? Okay. At Night and One World Rapid Response today announced they have secured key organisational support to launch a significant boots-on-the-ground operation in the search for missing teenager Sebastian Rogers. This new phase will deploy specialised teams to Mississippi and Kentucky for targeted evidence searches. Mississippi and Kentucky. Okay, why? Why would Sebastian be in Mississippi or Kentucky? Well, they believe that they've got operational leads. The operation is the culmination of 13 months of dedicated cyber intelligence work conducted by at-night specialists. I'd love to know who these specialists are. I'd love to know. Because at-night seem to be very good at taking people to court and then getting absolutely nowhere with it, but we've seen no evidence that they've actually found anyone or any evidence of Sebastian. So provide your evidence as to why you believe Sebastian could be in Mississippi or Kentucky, combined with extensive case files provided by teams who have been assisting since the investigation began. So by teams, what do you mean? Like some of your supporters, some of the green team? Is that who your specialists are? Who knows? The primary focus of this deployment is to search for artifacts of a crime and potential leads related to worst-case scenarios. Okay, so worst-case scenarios, presumably, and artifacts. You're assuming, therefore, that Sebastian's dead. So he's not been trafficked to Mexico then? He's not been taken to Alaska? Not in some kind of special school in Alaska? No, not that, no. This strategic effort runs parallel to the ongoing work of other partner teams, so other members of the Green Team, who continue to vigorously pursue and clear leads to ensure Sebastian is not being held captive. Oh, he could still be held captive. All right, so you've got no idea. So he could be dead in Mississippi or Kentucky. It could be in a special school in Alaska. It could be in Mexico being held captive. There's all sorts of scenarios, isn't there? Because, all your different teams are coming up with all these theories, and none of them appear to be based in any fact. If you've got facts that support that he might be in all of these places, then why don't you show it? The operational environment has been complicated by a recent influx of scams, including a ransom demand from Mexico. Oh, a ransom demand indeed. What, some clown has rung up for a joke? If you have, don't do that. You're just giving them ammo. As perpetrators attempt to exploit the ongoing search. Oh, so are you saying it was Sebastian's perpetrators that tried to put a kibosh on the ongoing search, like lead you off in a random direction? Why don't you release this ransom demand? Has that been released? Let's have a look at it. Has anybody seen it? Has it been released and I've missed it? You can release a ransom demand, can't you? This leg of the search will take what our cyber specialists gathered and put it into physical action, a spokesperson for the joint operation stated. While other teams work to clear leads that could bring Sebastian home safely, our mission is to exhaust every possibility and search for evidence, no matter how grim the scenario. For operational security and the integrity of the effort, the search teams will not be coordinating with the public. Okay. All activities will be conducted in direct coordination with state law enforcement agencies. Oh, really? So you've got the state police in Kentucky out looking, have you? And the state police in Mississippi out looking, have you? Okay. And their respective district attorneys' offices in the relevant states. All right. So which counties? Which towns? Are all of them? All district attorneys in Mississippi and Kentucky? Okay. The entire search will be documented by professional film crews to maintain a precise record of the operation and to showcase the magnitude of the resources being deployed. More details will be made available as the search ignites. All right, so you're going to film some people wandering about somewhere in Mississippi or Kentucky. You know, how do we know that you're not just going to plant some artifacts to make it look like you're doing something? I don't think so. I wish there was ground searches, like actual, real ground searches, because I would expect if these guys are going out boots on the ground in Mississippi or Kentucky, I would assume, therefore, that you've cleared the places that Sebastian is actually, factually, most likely to be, such as the construction site. Has anybody seen them out and about, boots on the ground, clearing all of this area, all of these woods? Have you cleared every single spot in these woods? Have you gone further afield up north towards White House because you had ties with White House School? Have you covered all of this ground? If so, I'd like to know about it. Did you film crews? Film it all? Release it. I'm assuming you've done that because we know in any missing persons case, the place you're actually most likely to be if you're dead is close to home. It's happened again and again and again and again. So I'm assuming that you've cleared all of that. Well, I'm not sure. I found this post interesting by Nerdy. On 65 North in Tennessee, the two nearest blip billboards are about 15 minutes from Hendersonville. Yet, despite claims, not a single ad for Sebastian Rogers appeared. Maybe they only run at night. Apparently, there's been this blip billboard campaign with Sebastian's face being all over billboards everywhere. But who's actually seen them? Anybody? Do they run for like an hour? Or even a day, and then that's it? Who's paying for all of this? So, no. I wish there were ground searches in places where Sebastian actually is most likely to be, but maybe these things do only ever run at night.